Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Rayman 2 The Great Escape. Last time, we made our way through beneath the sanctuary of rock and lava and we got ourselves our third mask. In this episode, we're ready to head off here into our next level, Tomb of the Ancients. Now what? He's found the third mask. What? But that's not possible. If he finds the fourth one, I'll be coming for you. Yeah, you can tell at this point that Razorbeard has so much of Rayman that he can't even sit straight. It's pretty ridiculous if you ask me. But welcome to the Tomb of the Ancients here. As you can tell on this level, we're going to be running into a lot of death, essentially. We're going to be running into tombstones, ghosts, zombie chickens. We're going to be running into a lot of stuff related to death. If we go ahead and read the sign over here to the left, it says this. Clark was captured here before being brought to the technical checkup. So, if we remember from a very long time ago at this point, back in Menor Hills, we had a friend of ours named Clark help us out. He was sick, so we had to give him some elixir of life, and that healed him because he essentially just ate too many pirates. So, a long time into the game here, a lot of different levels, we got ourselves two masks since then. Here we are in Tomb of the Ancients. They now bring back up Clark, and he's been captured by the pirates, so now we've got to save him just like how we saved Glowbox back in the Canopy. So that's going to be our main goal here in this level. We're going to try to find Clark, but we won't be running into him for quite some time, so we know what we're doing usually here. Collecting as many lumps as we can and breaking up as many cages as we can see. On this part of the level here, we need to go ahead, jump down into this pit, hit that switch, and as you can see, it triggered a platform in a later area. There are 3 switches like this that we need to hit. Each switch will raise a platform which will allow us to get across that green goop. And it's pretty self-explanatory just by looking at that stuff, but that green goop is a one-hit KO, so you can't really cross that natively. You need to go and hit all these switches to raise those platforms. You're not going to make it on your own if you don't do this. So, in this part of the level here, we have a little bit of a branching path area. We need to go through both of these areas here, because both of these will lead us to switches that we need to hit in order to continue with the level. And here on the left we have the spider that's going to be chasing us on this web. Don't even bother attacking him. He is the stupidest spider in the entire game. I'm not kidding. Look at what the spider is doing after I hit the switch. It's continuously stabbing in front, and he can't aim. And if I fly down like so, just trying to get away, I'll land over here where the robot pirate was. And now that spider will try to follow. Or this time he doesn't. I had a test playthrough where the spider did, but if he follows you, he'll stand right on top of the treasure chest and still try to attack you. But that's as far as it goes. Don't worry about the spider. That one is probably the most harmless spider in the entire game. He just doesn't try to attack you, so don't worry about attacking that one whatsoever. Just get to the switch, you'll be fine. But after we activate that switch, we want to go ahead and make our way over to the right pathway this time. Gotta be careful of the pirate here that's just sitting inside of a grave. Once you kill him, you want to come behind the tombstones here, and behind one of the tombstones will not only be a green lump for a checkpoint, but there will also be our last switch. Hit that, and we are good to go. Be careful of these hands every once in a while coming out of things like tombstone, treasure chests, and whatnot. They will try to kill you, and if you remember from the Cave of Mad Dreams, if one of these hands grabs you, that's pretty much a one-hit KO, and you have to respawn from the checkpoint. If you climb up on the web here from where we had the branching paths, you can actually see outside these little windows that will pretty much show you what the areas are for where the switches are located. So that's a little sneak peek at the areas. We don't really need those obviously because, well, we already hit the switches. We don't really need to look back now at what we just did. But yeah, there is that. We want to make our way across this green goop, and doing so reach this web up here we can climb, which will lead to this gigantic tombstone that we can go ahead and jump down. If we stand in front of it, a arrow will spawn telling you, jump down here, stupid. But I don't feel like jumping down there. Instead, I'm actually going to go ahead and jump off of this cliff and make my way over here to the left area. To the left of that web is a secret passage. You can only get over here from jumping off that top ledge. This is not required whatsoever, but we want to actually come over here for a lum. And this is a very, very special lum. You remember in the very beginning of the game when we entered the bayou, there was one lum that was eaten. And we can't really get that back now because Razorbeard just ate the lum. There's only 999 for us to collect now. This lum down here is that 1000th lum. In each version of Rayman 2, there's a different location for this 1000 lum. It's not always going to be in this one section that I'm in now. But in this version of Rayman 2, if you go behind the waterfall essentially here in Tomb of the Ancients, you'll be led into this back alleyway essentially, where you have to defeat all these pirates that keep on respawning after a while. And once you do so, you'll be able to get over to where the 1000th lum is. Now this does not count towards your total whatsoever, so collecting this lum does absolutely nothing. The only thing it will do is it'll just make that little fanfare, and that's pretty much it. Now some people say that this is pretty much a bug with the original release of Rayman 2, because originally from what some people were thinking, the counter was supposed to go back up to 1000, but because Razorbeard ate that 1000th lum in a cutscene and it just lowered, it never goes back up. So people speculate that that could be a bug, that could be a design choice, but that's pretty much essentially like an Easter egg of this game. It's a little secret that you can find, doesn't really serve any point besides the 1000th lum is there, you can collect it. So in total in this level there are technically 51 lums. Only 50 of them actually count towards your totals. That one does not count whatsoever. So I had 10 going into that section. After collecting that lum, I still only have 10. So like I said, that lum does not count towards your totals whatsoever. It's really just there if you're curious. Whenever I play this game, I always go after that lum just simply because it's a nice little thing to do. It's a lot of fun to go to that one section, try to fight the pirates, just grab the lum. It makes you feel accomplished, makes you feel like you truly 100% completed this game. And if you just decide to jump down that tombstone from earlier and decide to skip where the 1000th lum is altogether, both locations take you to the exact same drop-off point. If you grab that 1000th lum, it'll take you to the same place as if you did not grab that lum. So it doesn't matter which one you do. Like I said, I always just grab it because I feel more accomplished when I do so. And since it takes me to the same location anyways, I don't mind. But there's actually something I need to note here, and of course I can't really do that all that well because I die. So I'm gonna go ahead and fly back over here and just show this off. There are two different paths that we can go ahead and take here. We have this upper pathway, and we have this little doorway here. Do not take this doorway if you're going for 100%. That doorway does not lead to more lums. In fact, it's actually a shortcut. So if you decide to go ahead and take that doorway instead of taking this top path, you will miss a lot of this level's lums. So do not take that path whatsoever. You're gonna miss lums, you're gonna miss cages. And why did I respawn? That's the first time I've ever seen Rayman kind of spawn into existence there, like he died. That's really weird. But yeah, don't take that doorway if you're trying to go for 100% sake. If you do, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff. What I want to do here first, after we get dropped into this part of the level, is I want to go ahead and ride this keg, turn around, and get myself some golden fists. Because I like me some golden fists. And now up here is pretty much just for health. I'm gonna go up here anyways just to show it off, but this is just a trail of red lums. So if you really don't need the health, just go ahead and skip this part of the level altogether, since there's no cages nor lums to get. But I want to go ahead and ride this keg over here, because there is stuff I can grab on this side, mainly a cage. Oh, don't die, Rayman. Oh, I was way too close. You want to break open that cage because it has 2 5 lums in it. So there's a lot of lums just from that one cage alone. Yo, that's stinking pirate. There we go, guys. Health. And now with that checkpoint granted, let's go ahead, jump onto this keg here and ride it across. Now this part of the level, I honestly do not like. I never really liked this part, honestly. Just simply because there's a lot of zombie chickens they throw at you. This section right here is when you really start to notice how many zombie chickens are in this level. It is crazy how many zombie chickens they throw at you. Every time you shoot one, as you can see by now, a new one just spawns in its place. These are never-ending supplies of zombie chickens. So they're gonna get annoying really fast, and there's gonna be a part here coming up where if you want to grab a cage, you need to actually grab a purple lum. But your shots also home in on the zombie chickens around you. So you're trying to grab purple lums, but at the same time, your shots are aiming towards these zombie chickens around you instead. And it makes it really, really difficult for you just to grab that stinking purple lum. This one right here isn't that big of a deal, but when you climb up this web, you'll be just put on this one section of the wood right here, and so many zombie chickens come out at you at once. It's insane. I never get to keep my golden fist for all too long just because of how many zombie chickens they throw at you. It's maddening. And this part of the level is my least favorite part just because of how many stinking zombie chickens there are. There are just too many zombie chickens, I swear, there's just too many of them. If you can keep your golden fist right here, it's really useful just because once you climb up this web here, you're gonna be running into a big old spider. So if you still had your golden fist, right here is when they would have been really useful because of how fast you would have killed this thing. Unfortunately for me, I can't just destroy this spider with one charge shot, it has to be 2. But it's not that big of a deal because those charge shots don't really take too long to kill anyways, and they don't take too long to charge up. 2 charge shots, not that big of a deal. But in this part of the level here, I want to go ahead and turn around, and as you can see, there's this doorway over here. If you get too close to it, an electrical field opens up. That is where that doorway from earlier would have taken you. So if I decided earlier in the level to take that doorway, instead of taking the upper path, that's where it would have put me. And as you can see, I missed 2 cages and a lot of lums if I would have taken that path. That's a lot of stuff to miss, so do not take that pathway if you're going for 100% in this level. You'll miss a lot of stuff. In this section here, you want to be careful because you need to hit these switches at the right time in order to turn off these electrical barriers, but you also have lums you need to jump around for, so it's really easy for you to just jump right off this keg and die. I've done it multiple times, especially in this part of the level right here, because right now, I need to dodge all these fire kegs that are being thrown at me. And a lot of it's due to sound cues here in order for you to dodge. I'm listening to this robot's sound effects, and then I'm counting down in my head to see how long it's going to take to throw that next barrel. A couple seconds later is when he usually throws one of those, so I just have to listen in on when he makes his robotic sounds, and then just judge from there when I should jump. You can't really see after the first throw where he's throwing it, but he's always going to be throwing to where you are. So just wait right before that keg is thrown at you, and then move over to the other barrel. That's how you're going to avoid getting killed, essentially, because if you're not careful, one shot can kill you. And the way it does that is it pushes you off the barrel you're riding and into the water below you. So you need to be extremely careful in that section. But this part of the level here, we got a keg for our use, so we can just go ahead and use that to throw against this pirate twice. That kills him. And then we want to bring that keg over to the door as you saw earlier. Doing so will give us our final few lums and our 5th cage level. So now there's only one thing left to do, and it's to find Clark. There's Clark. Now all we need to do is save him from the pirates.
Rayman! Clark!
So now we're needing to essentially fight Clark here. This is a boss battle of the level, and what we need to do here with Clark is we need to activate these 3 switches, which will activate this laser, have Clark run over it, and then he will trip. After he trips, you can actually shoot behind him, which will start destroying that pack that's on his back there, which is a mind control device. Now come on Clark, can you please move? These dang switches don't stay active forever, which is kind of a problem at times because you can't really see where they are and they all tick. So you can't tell which switch is about ready to turn off unless you're timing them yourself. So you have to be very mindful about these switches and their timing. So just be ready to activate pretty much every single switch right away after you hit Clark, because that's bound to happen. It's bound for you to have to go back over here and turn on all these switches because they'll turn off pretty fast. There we go, we got some more damage on that mind control device. And oh, don't, Clark, don't do it. Oh, he just slapped me across the room. You don't want to get grabbed by Clark at all, as you can see, because when he grabs you, he will do a lot of damage. He throws you pretty far across the room, and he does a decent amount of damage, even though it really doesn't matter to us because of how big our health bar is. You still want to be very careful because if he does too much damage to us over time, that'll just turn off this dang laser, and we won't have that much time to react. There we go, we destroyed the mind control device on Clark. So we saved our buddy once again. Would you look at that? There's a cage up here. Go ahead, shoot it. And here comes a Teensy. Hey Teensy, how you doing? How are we gonna get out of here? Because there's no portal surface here. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. I guess we just go ahead and dance here and hope for the best. Yeah, it looks like it. There's our portal. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Hopefully Clark doesn't get captured when we're gone, because after this, we don't really see him until the very end of the game. But with that all said, that's Tomb of the Ancients for you. We got everything here, so just like always, we got a bonus level to mash our way through. So let's go ahead and do just that. I hope you guys are ready to play the longest bonus level in the entire game. The bonus level here at the end of Tomb of the Ancients is about a minute long, because this time Baby Glowbox decides, let's go every single pathway here that exists in this small, condensed little area. He'll go forward, just to go backwards, just to go forward, just to go backwards. He'll do that a lot here. So I hope you're ready to really mash those buttons, because you're going to be here for quite a while. This is when I would recommend that you swap between using like your index finger, middle finger, and then your thumbs if your fingers get too tired, just because you're going to be mashing for quite some time. I remember when I had to do this as a kid, I always swapped between fingers. I just couldn't do it. But over time, I got better at it, and after a while, it just became more natural, but I still have to swap between using different fingers. But if you know how to do that, if you know just how to continuously mash, and you can persevere, then you can go ahead and complete this bonus level just like all the others. This is the longest they'll get, so this is the last time we'll be actually looking at one of these bonus levels. If these bonus levels get any longer, I swear my fingers are going to fall off by the end of this playthrough. There's so much button mashing. A full minute of button mashing does a lot to your hand over time. But it's worth it in the end because we get ourselves a health refill and some more golden fists. And you know me, I always like to get more golden fists. So with that all said, let's go ahead and save our game. And now we are off to our next level here, the Iron Mountain. So, with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. Next time on Let's Play Rayman 2, The Great Escape, we'll head into the Iron Mountains. I'll see you guys next time.